effects. It seems that there's a few picket lines in Derby today, because while there's the RMT, ASLEF, TSSA and Unite unions striking on the rails, there's also the Communication Workers Union that are just round the corner, and they've actually just joined together here in the background. So there's a lot of people on this picket line here. What there isn't a lot of, though, of course, is trains going in and out of Derby Station. Only one train every hour for the intercity routes, so that's for Nottingham, Derby, Leicester, going towards London. So it is going to be a lot harder if you wanted to get down to London for that Conservative Party conference, or you wanted to go to the London Marathon, both of which start tomorrow. The strike is, of course, on today, but there's going to be after effects and delays that will continue into early tomorrow morning. It is the biggest action of its sort. 54,000 people from those unions, so drivers, cleaners, people that maintain all of the things that go on inside of a train station like here in Derby, and as a result there's only 11% of trains running. Now, some of the big people that are involved in this, and we've become very used to seeing them on our TV screens and on our Twitter timelines, are the General Secretaries, the most famous of which is the RMT's General Secretary, who you'll be seeing interviews of today, Mick Lynch. He said that the summer of solidarity, looking back on the strikes that we've already seen so far, will continue into autumn and winter if employees and the government continue to refuse workers' reasonable demands. So there is still no negotiations that have been met. There's still no deal that has been met, so you can expect that this is going to continue for quite some time. Network Rail is warning you not to travel unless absolutely necessary, and to check for updates before and during your travel. It's worth reminding you as well that this isn't the only action that you might see today in big cities. There's a campaign called Enough is Enough. That's also organised by some of the big unions. You'd see it if you're in Nottingham today, for example. You'll certainly see it if you're in London. And that's the big campaign regarding cost of living, because there are so many strikes happening right now. We're not quite at a general strike, but it is starting to come together, and there is certainly this national embodiment of why people are campaigning for action, because this cost of living crisis is becoming so difficult for so many people.
Will, thank you. Let's head to Leeds and our Yorkshire and Humber reporter, Anna Riley. What's happening there, Anna?
Good morning. Yes, I'm at the picket line here at Leeds train station, where workers, RMT union and ASLEF union have gathered in solidarity in striking, and I'm here with John Stewart. John, if you just want to come in, John is the branch secretary of Leeds RMT. Just tell me why you're here, John, today, and what you're hoping to get out of this strike.
Well, we're here today to get the message over that, as it says on the big banner behind me, that enough is enough. We've all had enough, the general public's had enough, and certainly railway workers have had enough. And we want to get the intransient government that's pulling the strings of the employers around the table to talk sensibly about it.
And John, you have worked in the railways for 46 years. What's it been like, and what is this cost of living crisis doing for workers at the moment?
Well, it's gone downhill ever since privatisation, to be quite honest with you. It just become a money machine at that point. It was all about shareholders, it wasn't about staff, it wasn't about the general public. The railways is supposed to be a public-owned industry, in my opinion, that's there for the public, and it's gone downhill. It's never been like that since privatisation. Couple that today with the cost of living problems that we're having, the increase in fares that's likely to come in the early new year, then it's going to make a system that's unusable for the general public, to be quite honest with you.
And these strikes have been going on since summer. It has inconvenienced a lot of travellers. What would you say to people that aren't able to use the trains during these strikes?
We don't want to inconvenience anybody, but the system is such that we've tried to get negotiations going around the table, and we've reached a point-blank situation where the government, and it was grant chaps at that time, were instructing the companies what they had to do. They can't get around the table. And what else have they left us to do? We have to show our upset and disappointment by taking industrial action. The general public are supporting us very well, We get lots and lots of praise from them, saying keep it up. They know that this isn't just about the railways, this is about every worker in this country. Because if they get away and break the railway union, the RMT, which is what they're trying to do, it's not really about modernisation. Modernisation means nothing to them. It's about saving money and breaking one of the stronger unions that we've got in this country. And if they break us, they'll come for everybody else after that. And all the workers out there need to understand that it's us today and them tomorrow. So we need to keep this going. It's not about pay rises as such. It's about keeping people in jobs. It's about keeping the railways safe for the general public to travel on. And yes, we would like a pay rise. It's been 3 years since we've had one, so I don't think it's out of a question to ask at this stage.
Thank you, John. Thank you for speaking to us this morning. So, yeah, that's John there saying why people are striking here today in Leeds, and the RMT and other unions here are going to be joined by the Enough is Enough campaign protesters. There's expected to be thousands coming here to Leeds today to protest against the cost of living, to call out to the government to give people a pay rise, and to also cut those energy bills for people.